Bob Odenkirk being an action film star. I don't know if that's an easy sell, but I'm intrigued. So let's get into his new film, and that review of that film is coming to you right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another movie review. So today we're reviewing the film Nobody, which is coming in theaters March 26th. I had to do that. I know it's corny, but I had to do it. But Bob Odenkirk, who I just really think is a really tremendous actor, I could never pin him to being an action star. I think he absolutely has a voice to voice over one. But actually doing the stunts, or at least the idea of him being the one doing the stunts or whatever it may be, I don't quite see it. But I'm intrigued, and I'm not mad at this. I'm really not mad at this. Like, if I had to pick a random person to be an action star, it would not be him. But him wearing those shoes, I'm not mad at it at all. But what's happening in this film is that as a bystander who intervenes to help a woman being harassed by a group of men becomes a target of a vengeful drug lord. Look, his character was ex-mercenary. Now he just wants to be a family man, but he essentially can't get away from his ways. Once one, always one. And he's living a pretty much normal routine. 9 to 5 home, 9 to 5 home, 9 to 5 home. And it's pretty much boring. I mean, considering that you were doing all sorts of crazy things being a mercenary, now you're just working a 9 to 5, it doesn't quite fit. And he breathes off of chaos. Like, that's where his happy point is. So him seeing that there was a woman being harassed was an opportunity for him to create some chaos and get back to his norm. But it just happens to be messing with the wrong person. And obviously now he got a whole Russian mafia coming after him. So with that being said, I thought this film started off pretty slow. And I was a little worried about it. But once a certain part of this film happens, it's often off to the races then. And that's where everything picks up. Because I absolutely had my doubts. But when it hit its stride, it was on and popping. But with that being said, I thought the action was pretty good. And there was some standout moments of the action. And what I mean by that is like, all action films, always that, like, what was that one memorable moment that you want to go back to the film to see? Or just, is there a memorable moment that just sits amongst all the elites of action films? And I think there were some good scenes for sure. Nothing legendary, but definitely some good ones. And I also felt like it aesthetically just felt different. It did not feel like another film. Although you can tell that this film target was to try to be John Wick. And it wasn't. Essentially, to me, it felt like it wanted to be John Wick, but Jason Statham was playing John Wick. And so with Jason Statham movies, the tone is always a little more cheesy because he has to hit his one-liners and, everything just has to kind of fit his norm. And that's where I felt like this sits at. It's like it targeted to being John Wick, but it just was a little bit under it. And that's fine. I think John Wick is one of the best action films out there or franchises out there. And I think that, if you're targeting them being that, then that's a good way of going. I will say also what this film did different is that it's rare, which is why I feel like this is sort of like John Wick. But it's rare that the protagonist actually takes damage or gets hurt instead of just beating 50 people up and just walks in the way. It was actually, for once, the protagonist gets beat and he gets beat, and then that's that. So with that being said, I thought the score and the choreography with all the action was done really well. And its target obviously was trying to make it as real as it could, but also with sprinkles of humor. There was definitely a lot of like OMG moments. strictly with rage and chaos. And I also love how diverse the cast was. Like, my man RZA was in this, and not to mention that, you know, although he had a minimal role in this, that minimal role felt like forever to me because he's just that badass. So, you know, very diverse cast, and seeing my man RZA is always a plus. But I cannot lie. If it wasn't for this final act of this film, I probably wouldn't have liked it. The final act absolutely saved this film for me because it was really that good. And it really brought everything all together. And I actually feel like if the momentum and the tone of the final act was the tone that they set for the whole film, this film would have been a lot better. But it built up to that moment to ultimately giving a resolve. And that's good movie structure there. But like, considering how I like my action films, I mean, give me the pure chaos the entire time. And I wish they would have did that because, again, it felt like more of a slow burn. And then, you know, there's still a bunch of, like, things you got to kind of figure out in the beginning. Because, like, you still don't know too much about his history. Like, you know he's ex-mercenary. You know he's trained of some sort. But, like, you're wondering why so many people respect him the way they do. Because, like, people were like, oh, I'm not messing with him. And you kind of was wondering, like, well, why? He's just a family man out here, you know what I mean? So that was just, you know, my little gripe with it. But nonetheless, I wasn't mad at this film at all. I, you know, definitely tip my hat to Bob, who's stepping now into this action crime drama genre now. And I think I could see some more of him. I definitely could. I mean, after Undone season 2, because that's my show. But like, I definitely could see more of him, and we'll see where it goes. But ultimately, this was a good film. Be patient with it. It's coming out March 26th in theaters, and I think a lot of people are going to check this out. So, but anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching my review, and I'll catch you all very soon.